All right, welcome agents. Today we're excited to have Tim Heltman and Brian Moshka. Tim Heltman is an experienced internal wholesaler with 12 years of expertise in the financial services industry. Based in Des Moines, Iowa, Tim is passionate about helping individuals understand the value of the products he represents. A graduate of the University of Kansas, he combines his educational background with years of hands on experience to provide insightful customer focused service. Outside of his professional life, Tim is an avid golf enthusiast, enjoying time on the course whenever possible. He is committed to making complex concepts easy to understand for all. We also are excited to welcome back Regional Vice President of Revol One, Brian Moshka. Also based out of Iowa, Brian has been in the financial service industry since 2000. He started working at his father in law's independent planning firm, where he worked to service existing clients and setting up seminars. He then learned how to sell financial instruments in the banking system as a registered sales representative. Before coming to Revol One, Brian was a regional vice president with a large fixed index annuity carrier where his passion for safe money was realized. With that being said, take it away, Brian and Tim.
Well, thank you very much, Emmy. I wish I could take you everywhere and announce us that way. It sounds so nice coming from you. You do a very nice job. So if you'd like to travel with Tim and I, you're welcome to anytime. So let's kick this off. I'm going to just really set the tone here for what we're going to talk about today, and then I'm going to let Tim jump in. I will come back in on the back end, but really, this is today talking about. And Emmy came up with this. I just loved it. Boost your client's financial wellness. So we've got two things for you really today. It'll break up into the first part, which is more or less about some products that we have here at Revol One, and you're going to use these products really to separate yourself from the competition. They're rarely seen, they're rarely talked about, and it gives the clients the best of both worlds. So I won't ruin anything for Tim there, but he's got a really powerful product that will get some discussion going in the name of boosting your client's financial wellness. And then at the end there, I will wrap up with a sales idea that I borrowed from your peers, and it works. It's from a mega producer, is what I would consider him, and he's a good friend. So I will be sharing that with you at the end. So quickly, we're going to kind of rush through this front part, but we're going to touch on who is Revol One Financial, why Revol One Financial. We talk a lot about being nimble and being a smaller company. So that allows us to disrupt the norm, if you will. We can look out into the environment out there in the industry and say, well, what do we like and what don't we like? And let's either change that or let's keep that in place and take the best of. Our goal really as we move forward here, and I think NFI has really jumped on board with us here about eliminating your pain points. I always joke and say, this business is hard enough. You don't need an insurance company getting in there making it even harder. So, our goal is to be efficient using the technology that we have. And in the end, revolutionize the experience for you. It should be somewhat easy. So, I said, who is Revol One Financial? We're not quite a household name yet, but we're working on it. Technically, we were founded in 1980.
Brian, we're losing you. We can't quite hear you. Tim, are you able to jump in by chance?
Yeah, I definitely can there as my mute was muted when I was mic was muted there when I was trying to say something. So it does look like we lost Brian there, so I apologize for that. But yeah, as we're kind of getting into this conversation is who is Revol
From
One?
um, and we let's see. I think I just lost my screen. No, I didn't. Um, And then lastly,
Yeah, Brian, I think you're having some technical difficulties. I'm going to go ahead and mute you there and kind of carry on. If you hear me talking, I'm taking over the presentation for you, bud. So, yeah, who is Revol One? Obviously, as Brian mentioned, we're not necessarily that household name yet in the fixed index annuity world. We were founded back in 1980, domiciled in Michigan, and in 2024 we repurposed the Revol One kind of domiciled or original company Pavonia Life into a fixed index annuity carrier. We are going to be administrative offices located here in Des Moines, Iowa. As most of you know out there, Des Moines, Iowa is kind of a hub for fixed index annuity carriers. There's quite a few as I'm driving to work that I pass by. So there is a ton of talent that we have to choose from here at Revol One. Obviously, getting some of the highest and best talent in this industry can only lead to great success for Revol One. And as you're calling in, talking to the wholesalers or even our customer service individuals, everyone at our office pretty much has at least 10 years of experience here. Working at a home office. So it is some great talent. If you have any questions or needs to call in, more than happy from our customer service. And more or less, this disrupt the norm is a mentality we have here at Revol One. I think a lot of people get settled. Why are we doing one thing? Why are we doing this for so long? And, over 15, 20, 30 years, some of these carriers, usually the reason why we're doing something or why they are doing something is because they've done it for so long. Well, if it doesn't make sense, how can we go ahead and adjust and make it a more user and client experience for you and your clients out there in the field? So that is something we are trying to maintain and we will maintain is this disrupt the norm mentality. And you see that with our service aspect and you see that with our product offerings as well. So I am going to kind of get into our product offerings. After I do mention we are now a B plus plus when we went to market. So we do have a good financial state or rating here at Revol One Financial. Very happy when we went to market there in April with the B plus plus. We also did just announce a brand new reinsurance agreement with Nighthead, which is an A minus carrier as well. So we're collecting and gathering great partners to continue this path of a great, amazing company that you can offer for your clients. So now getting into some of the fun stuff, I'm not going to take all the thunder away from Brian, but I will talk about some of these products that have truly re-energized the marketplace. But before I get to the products, let's just take a moment here to understand why Revol One Financial. Some of these key points here, these cheetah paws over off to the left, are some of the things we talk about daily here at Revol One Financial and get to share with our distribution partners out in the field. Our distribution is focused on you. What does that mean to you, the agent out there, being able to allow your consumers to purchase a Revol One product? Well, we don't have a ton of distribution partners. When we went to market in April, we went with the select hand few distribution partners that NFI is proud to be a part of. We're not papering the world with our products, right? We have the ability to create unique, small relationships with our field partners and develop products that are needs for those individuals. If NFI had an example that an agent really needed one or two things, had an idea that they wanted to bring to Revol One Financial, that's something we welcome with open arms, and we have a nice listening ear for that. And that's why we are focused on our distribution partners with this limited group of IMOs. Another thing when we went to market, our robust product engine. You guys have no idea from a home office standpoint how hard and how long it takes to bring a product or a new update to a product to market. It can take years, it can take months and months and months. We here at Revol One did 4 to 6 new product launches just in the first year we went to market, and we'll continue to make 4 to 6 annual updates to our products, if not new products, moving forward. And that's a commitment we have made to our field partners. And the other thing is our service. Brian kind of mentioned it's hard enough out there for you, the agent, let alone the client, to do business with some of these carriers. How can we satisfy a lot of those concerns or needs? I spoke earlier when I said, why are we disrupting the norm? Why did certain carriers do something for so long and never change? Because that's all they ever known. Here at Revol One Financial, when we went to market with a fully electronic platform, some of these service issues went away, right? We're now allowing or now promoting instant suitability. No longer do we have to wait 2, 3, 5 business days for something to just get reviewed from a suitability standpoint. What does that mean to you? No longer do you have to wait those 4 days for a new business individual to go ahead and send out a transfer form. No longer do you have to wait those 4 or 5 days for someone to get back to you on a not in good order situation. So, all of that service experience has been quickly overnight, within seconds, getting here to our home office so we can start working on those applications. And of course, the technology here at Revol One Financial is just outstanding, not only on a pre-sale function, but also for that post-sale function for you and your clients, through our world-class Revol One Financial client and agent portal. So those are just some of the really, really important things here that can stand out with Revol One as you're seeing this experience. Um, Next, I'm going to get into some of our products, right? I know this can get sometimes repetitive if you've been on a prior webinar with NFI or with Revol One, but it is something we need to talk about as far as the why, and the why using our products is going to be important. When we went to market, and our current product offering is going to be a simplified product portfolio. We have a fixed hybrid MYGA, Accelera Plus, which I will feature later on here today. And we also have our fixed indexed annuities on a 6 to 10 year chassis along with a bonus. So we have some great products that are some of the highest needs for our clients out there today. So let's fast forward here to our Accelera. Our Accelera is our MYGA. It's available in a 3, 5, and 7 year term. Hopefully, all of you are familiar with MYGA products. We have some great rates out there. As I highlight, our 5.4% fixed interest rate on our 5 year, one of the highest in the industries today. So a great rate there as far as a 5.4, and our 7 at 5.45. So if you do have any of those clients that are looking for CD type alternatives, this MYGA is a great opportunity. Or even just a starter in the safe money space is a great stepping tool into this world of safe money with a MYGA for your clients. I will mention our MYGA products does have limited liquidity. We do have RMD friendly, but there are no penalty free withdrawal options available, just so you guys are aware. Now, kind of the product feature, product highlight, something that is just creating total buzz around the industry, is this Accelera Plus product. And I think of this as kind of a hybrid type product, actually. Where can we blend this unique concept of a great fixed rate along with index credits, right? That is what we're trying to do with this product. We're trying to have a powerful story for you to tell with your clients, as far as you can kind of get a little bit of both, but we don't have to choose one or the other. We can utilize this product 100% of the actual funds that go in, either or, whatever's better 5 years from now, 3 years from now, or 7 years from now. And one common saying in this industry that I've heard year after year after year when I was out in the field, or even when consumers would call in, talking about fixed index annuities. And most of you can probably finish this sentence. When we talk about fixed indexed annuities, zero is your hero, correct? I hear that time and time again. Well, here with the Accelera Plus MyGia product, zero is no longer your hero, but 4% is the new floor. And we are just so excited about this product. Hopefully you have had the chance to kind of hear about this product, but I'm going to go through a case study of how this product worked back from 2019 to 2024 and how maybe some of your clients would be interested in this product even today. Now, without going into tons and tons of details and side-by-side comparison, this product is super easy. It could be described on a napkin, and hopefully you guys are understanding or following through this process. On the left-hand side, it's going to be a MYGA. On the right-hand side, there's a guaranteed participation rate on a 3, 5, or 7-year chassis on the S&P 500. So on the 3-year point to point, it would be a 50% return, or excuse me, a 50% participation rate. On the 5-year, you would see a 60% participation rate. And on the 7-year, it's a 70% participation rate. That means you can participate in 70% of the upside of the S&P 500. And if we're in a down market, or maybe we're in more of a flat type market, obviously these last few years we haven't experienced that. If we do have a poor market condition, we can fall back on the 4% is your floor, compounding guaranteed over that surrender term duration. So I have a 5-year example here for everyone to kind of follow with me here. In this first click here, I'm going to show you what the fixed side of the table would do, right? So this is going to be looking at a 5-year Accelera Plus at a 4% fixed interest rate. We start with $100,000. We have a compounding effect on this product here. As you see, it grows from 100 to $121,665. That is guaranteed in this product when the client puts $100,000 in on this 5-year chassis. Now, I don't know if you guys remember or not, but back in 2019, where the S&P was and where it ended in 2024. Now, I know we don't have our updated slides here to share with you for 1/1 of 25, but I'm gonna do a click here, and I think the majority of you would probably think that between 2019 and 2024, the S&P would probably have outperformed, say, a $21,000 gain on $100,000, and you are correct. Okay, the S&P started at 2507 and ended at 4770. It had a great run from 2019 to the start of 2024. But the most powerful thing when we fast forward these 5 years, we don't have to decide. We didn't have to make allocation option switches. We didn't have to decide if we wanted 20% here or 30% there. You had 100% of your funds running the same race. One was maybe going at a turtle speed, one was going at a hare speed, and we didn't have to check the laps. We just fast forwarded 2014, 2024, I apologize there, and we saw who won. In this scenario, we see that the S&P 500 greatly outperformed the fixed product. So this is a conversation you can be having with your clients today, as far as this MyGia product, and having kind of the best of both worlds as far as a great fixed interest rate and a very, very competitive participation rate with the S&P 500. And I know we're going to look forward to hearing from Brian here in a moment in regards to his sales idea from someone out in the field. But we do also have very competitive fixed indexed annuities here at Revol One Financial. And as you can see, we're continuing to be pushing out the envelope as far as new products in 2025. So we do have a 10-year product with and without a bonus, some of the highest caps in the industry here on the Endurus product line, with a 10% cap of the S&P 500 with no fees included on these two products. And I can't forget to mention we have a 16% premium bonus on our Endurus 10 bonus product. As you can see, we also have competitive fixed rates on these products as well, including a home run strategy that you have to call NFI or Revol One Financial to hear about. It truly is a unique index option on the S&P 500. So in summary, we are going to kind of go over one awesome sales idea for you guys out in the field. I see Brian's back on here. I see he's muted, but I did want to take some time to say thank you for hearing some of our products here at Financial. Here we're different and disrupting the norm as you may have it out there in the field. So Brian, do you want to go ahead and unmute here, and I'll continue this slideshow for everyone?
Hey, Tim, can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, I can hear you perfect.
Sorry about the beginning there. So always fun trying to find the right Wi-Fi to work from, but I think I found it. So please interrupt. I think you know this sales idea as well, so if you have to take over, that's fine. And I'm just going to set the stage here before we go to the first slide. The stage is this. Well, first off is my disclaimer. You know, this idea is just kind of off the cuff. These ideas are not from Revol One. It doesn't represent Revol One. We aren't endorsing anything, any product, or anybody with this. We're simply providing you with a concept. Okay, and I talked to an agent, and again, this is before we get to the first slide here. I talked to the agent. I would consider him a mega producer. He does probably 20 to 30 million in MYGA per year. And you know, the cool thing is he said, "Hey, we got to simplify things for people." And I do something very, very simply that separates me from the rest of the world. And I said, "Okay." I said, "What is that?" He said, "Well, he said it works 98% of the time." And I said, "Okay." And what he's talking about is acquisitions of clients, right? It's very expensive to go and find a new client. And he said, "What I was finding is I was losing clients that their beneficiaries or their kids were going to go work with someone else. They didn't know who I was." And so once I installed this idea that we're going to talk about, it worked about 98% of the time. And I said, "Well, that's cool." I said, "How much does it cost?" He said, $30. That's $30 per client. That's not a lot for acquisition of clients. And so I said, "Well, do you mind sharing it with me?" And he said, "Yeah, that'd be fine." And he said, "And I give you permission to share it with others as well." And this is what he pulled out. So you're going to be shocked at how easy this is. And you've probably seen it before. But if we go to the first slide here, you'll see that it was something very, very simple. It was simply a binder. He shares with his clients a binder. Now, this binder, as you can tell, is personalized. It has his name and his logo on the front. Now, there's tabs inside that binder, and he's very specific about the tabs. Now, Tim and I took it and we added a couple more tabs because we can't help ourselves. We gotta, if it's good with 5 tabs, it's better with 7, right? So I'll share those tabs with you. But this was an opportunity for his clients to put their stuff in a place, right? We have all these statements and documents, and well, now we're doing electronic documents, aren't we? But it gives you a place to print it out, to grab it from the mail, and put your stuff in this binder. And really, what he was trying to do for these folks is we're trying to make the intangible tangible. So this concept of financial planning, right, is very intangible. It's just a thought process. What he wanted to do is make it so that you can put your hands on it. And something so interesting that I got from him was that he said, "I'm tired of losing to the big stack." And I said, "What's the big stack?" He said, "Well, there are companies and corporations out there that send a lot of statements, quarterly statements, monthly statements, and those start to add up, and the person takes those and puts those on their bookshelf. And what I was noticing is the heirs would come in and grab that big stack, and they would look and say, well, I'll just call this person because this is the biggest stack. It must be the most important. So he is trying to separate himself with this binder. And if we go to the next one, it's kind of cool what he does on, or what we do here on the end, which is this is a must. So on the front and on the spine, you must have your name and logo on the spine. Now, what does that do for you? Well, that offers you an opportunity to get in the house and be displayed on the bookshelf. Tim, I don't know if you can unmute yourself here and just have a little dialogue quick, but you know, let's just pretend you've never discussed finances with your parents, and I know you're a better kid than that. You probably have gotten them involved, and let's say you just hadn't, and you walk into the house and you see, um, unfortunately, your parents had passed away, and you start looking around on the bookshelves, and you see this on the shelf. What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, I as we've discussed this many times, right? And shared this conversation, it's an eye pop for me, right? It's something I would need to grab where I know my parents would have important documents somewhere located in the house, obviously. And this is definitely something that sticks out. It's bigger than most things. It's something that is that's needed to be open rather than just kind of put in a different pile, which I think is so important to have that kind of standout feature.
Very good. So, just on the surface, and we haven't even gotten into the binder yet, even a person like Tim looks at it and says, "You know what? That stands out to me." I think you want to stand out to your clients. And you're also providing a service. The service you're providing really is this becomes a planning tool. We can use this as a tool. What happens is the clients, before they come to visit you or at your next meeting, you just ask them, make sure to bring your binder and we'll update it for you. So those are the words that you say. And then what you'll start to notice as you start to go through the binder to update it, there's other statements, there's other things in there, there's other stuff, if you will, that is being added to it. Now you're helping them organize that, you're helping them put that together. And quite frankly, there's other pieces of information that you can find from that, but that's fine. You're putting it all in one place. So let's get on the inside here of the binder. Tabs to include. This might be a recurring theme here, but the first tab that you want to have when you open the book is to put your name, the name of your firm, the address, and all your contact info. So let's see, it's been three places now, right? The front of the binder, the spine of the binder, and on the first page. What's the message? Tim, call me, right? Call me, not the other person. Other tabs include, I know you can't see it, but I'm just going to list them off: financial inventory, statements, fixed annuities, contracts. Now, there's one that's very important, which is the last one: guide. The one that Tim and I added was the income. That's an important tab, and we can talk about that at a different time, where you can always feel free to call us and we can walk you through this. So, the guide tab is really, really cool. Um, you know, I've been going to the doctor lately, as Tim knows, to get my heart checked and get my blood pressure checked and all these wonderful things that the doctor has. And he set out a plan for me that says, okay, when you turn this age, we're going to do this. When you turn this age, you want to do this. And so he has this plan of action. Well, if your clients pass away, and in Tim's situation, he would go to the bookshelf, he would grab that, he would see this binder, he would look through it, and if he's never had anybody pass away in his family, what does he do? He doesn't really know. Under the guide tab, you will see it's a guide for my beneficiaries. This is a step by step checklist, if you will. Now, again, notice what's on the front page: your name, your firm name, your logo, and your contact information. I think that's the fourth time we've put it there. But what we really like about this is this checklist. You've got life insurance policies, death certificates, dates of obituary notice and news articles, certificates of appointment, wills, marriage certificates, and it goes on and on. I think it's 2 or 3 pages long. This gives that guide for Tim to say, okay, here's a checklist. Then what's cool is at the end of the checklist, it gives you a timeline. And that timeline says, look, in the first few days, you must do this. Within 2 weeks, we should accomplish this. And in the first month, you should have this done. I would say that my mind would be scrambled if I lost a loved one. What do I do? Well, if I go to this binder, I can step through and get my mind clear and understand this is what needs to be done. Also in the back is included sample letters. Again, with my mind being scrambled, I'd like a sample letter. What do I say to these insurance companies? What should I say to the Social Security Administration? How about the Veterans Administration? Oh my gosh, what about his employer? What should I say to the employer and how should I write that? I don't want to think about that much. Here's a sample. Now, I know what some of you are thinking is, yeah, I've seen this bit before. I've seen the binder, but I think right now it becomes more important than ever. We're moving into this electronic world. Do you know the passwords? Do you know where those electronic documents are? It might be good just to have some of this printed and up on the bookshelf. It allows for you to keep that relationship not only with your current client, but also with the heirs. Okay, so that's the idea for today. Here's my call to action right here. My call to action is call NFI, get contracted with NFI. The NFI folks can either direct you to Tim and I, and we can walk you through that binder and some of the specifics and how you might use it and what you might say at delivery. Or you can feel free to call Tim and I directly, but we will ask you to get contracted with NFI after we're through. So either way you look at it, we're asking you to get contracted. If you're already contracted with us, great, send a piece of business. We'll still go over the binder with you. I guess just for time's sake, I'm going to wrap up right here. I won't bring Tim back in, but we're both going to be available for questions. So you can scan the QR code there if you would like. That takes you right to our website, and it goes over this product that is going to separate you from everybody else out in the financial world. Okay, you can find that Accelera Plus that he talked about, where you have 4 as the floor or a 50, 60, 70% participation rate in the S&P. The best of both worlds. That'll put you right there. You can see our contact information. And as always, we are just a phone call away. We have all kinds of people here in Des Moines, Iowa that are waiting to take your phone call. So with that, I thank you for joining us today. Tim, thank you for all the good information. I really think that is a separator from the rest of the financial world. Hopefully you'll like our sales idea and use that as well. I'm going to turn it back over to Emmy, I think, and ask if there's any questions or anything that Tim and I can go back to and clear up.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Brian. That was some great information. So if you have any question, folks, now is the time to send them in. For starters, how fast can apps process if funds are received with the application?
Tim, you want to take that one? You've had some fun experiences with that.
Yeah, there's multiple ways to fund an application. One of our favorites here at Revol One is going to be a cash with app, and it can be done as quickly as a 24-hour period turnaround with our fixed indexed annuities, and even with our fixed products like our MYGA, we can actually go ahead and issue those policies same day. So it is an awesome turnaround for you out there in if it is a cash with app or even a funded via EFT, those can be very, very quickly turned around. So that is a great question out there, and hopefully it's most likely a lot quicker than something that you guys are experiencing out there in the field here today.
And I was so sure you were going to go with the ACH. If you do the routing number and the account number, it comes out right away, doesn't it, Tim?
It does. It does. It comes out
Make sure the
almost too
money's there.
fast.
Yeah,
Almost too
almost too fast.
fast.
Almost too fast.
fast.
Make sure the money's there. That's what Tim always says.
Yeah, and it also looks like we have a couple other questions coming through here. So one of the questions out here is, do you have a guaranteed income product coming in the future? Great question there. Obviously, with our speed to market with our products, we are committed to coming out with a income producing product here in 2025. Too early for specific details and or even timing. We do anticipate 3 product launches before probably July of this year, with one of those products in one of the time slots, some sort of income producing product. So hopefully that answers your question there. It will have some unique twists to it. I don't think it will be your standard guaranteed income type product, but it will be an income producing product. It looks like another question there was popped in regarding the MYGIA. As far as allocation options, even it looked like maybe that question disappeared. Quite frankly, the MYGIA product doesn't have any allocation options. 100% of the funds will be utilized in the fixed strategy, and 100% of the funds will be utilized in that S&P for performance over the 3, 5, or 7 years. And we'll simply look at the end of that 3, 5, or 7 year period, which one would have resulted in a higher return for your client, and that is what your client would be getting. So there's no need to choose between a fixed rate or an allocation option. It's 100% running the race on both ends.
Wonderful. I just got one last question for you guys. Can you confirm if you do e-apps or paper apps or both?
So
e-apps.
we are 100% electronic applications here at Revol One Financial, and the reason why is because of a lot of those things we were talking about earlier with that service aspect. Previous carriers, I think Brian and I have both worked with, or even you guys have experienced, the not in good order emails, the not in good order conversations just get outrageous. As applications have evolved into 5, 10, 15, 20 pages, there's so much information that gets needed. So we did go with electronic only, which has helped expedite our service standards for you out in the field and your consumers.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Tim and Brian, for sharing your valuable insights today. We really appreciate your time and expertise. And thank you to everyone who turned in. Partnering with NFI Solutions and Revol One can bring your clients even closer to their financial goals. And if you're not already contracted with Revol One, reach out to us at NFI Solutions. We're here to get you appointed very quickly. If you have any questions or need support, call us at 952-887-1239. We are here for you every step of the way. Take care and have a great rest of your day, everyone.